Welcome to Free Flow, the Caribbean's best and biggest podcast. Let's get it.
But you could, but you could understand the
Okay, that's not me.
1.5.
Okay, that's
yeah,
not me.
you, I can
I
understand.
just speak faster than I can understand myself sometimes.
You can't even understand this. But yeah, you could understand and like she can just speak. Like you know, how you can have to stop sometimes to think about what she's saying. She can just speak. And she talk about astrophysics. That's a really nice topic.
Now I want to speak to her. Now I want to speak to her.
You can just follow, just big up Lunar Journeys one time on Instagram.
let
and
me do that now.
Yeah, just follow on Instagram, man. But yeah, we had our episode and yeah, so we're going to try this again. We have one of our OG guests, Ultra Isaac.
Hi there. What you
Yeah.
saying?
And yeah, we're going to be talking about bodybuilding, health, trying to get these muscles to grow
Allegedly.
and all that. Well, you could see his size. He's like, 500 pounds. So the camera is not doing much justice.
500 pounds is crazy.
The camera
Yo,
is
I
not
wish
doing
I
much
was 500 pounds, bro.
You wish- you wish you were
Yo,
500.
500 pounds, bro. I could squat like 800, bro. I'd be sick.
How much can you squat?
500. So I wish I was saving my squat. Yeah, that'd be cool. Yeah, that'd be cool. Because like Thor Bjornsson, the person with the heaviest deadlift ever, is like 450 pounds.
The guy with the heaviest deadlift is Thor.
Yeah.
That's
Half
crazy.
Thor Bjornsson, yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
I thought it was
we
Thor.
call him Thor though.
Yeah, I was like,
Thor's badass.
wow,
You gotta call him boy
the
Thor.
The god of thunder is
Yeah, man.
insane. Okay, but yeah, let's get into it. We're starting with a deep question, and I'm going to ask you the same question. So it's best you just answer with the same enthusiasm.
That's what I don't remember nothing about what happened last time.
Well, that's
to be
good. That's
honest.
actually good. That's actually good. So yeah, we're going to start with a deep question. How much of bodybuilding is actually healthy versus accepted damage?
All right, bro, it's not healthy, bro. It's literally just I have to go on stage and compete with these guys who are also coming on stage. But when you look at like the criteria of bodybuilding, there's three criteria you have to look at for any bodybuilding show. It's size, basically how big you are, conditioning, how lean you are, how much definition of the body you can see under the skin, and then shape and symmetry would be the third one. Those together, right? Shape and symmetry would be, are your arms the same size? Do they match with your legs? Are your legs the same size? Do your legs match your arm size?
So does it mean like your leg has to be same size as your arm?
Not the same size, but it has to be proportional.
What does proportional mean? Like obviously I know the meaning of the word, but
Well,
in what way
I
proportional?
can't give you like exact metrics, but it's just something you see and you're like, okay, cool. This guy, he's not. Did you ever see somebody walk around with big arms or big chest and no legs?
Yeah.
Yeah, you don't want that.
Okay, so just kind of visually.
Yeah, it's just a visual. Okay, yeah, he looks like he's in shape everywhere to a high degree.
Okay, so
Yeah. You don't want any part of the body to be asymmetrical, essentially.
You said
But-
about
But the conditioning is where that makes it unhealthy. The conditioning, because
that's the leanness.
yeah, because going down to 5%, 4% body fat on stage is not healthy at all. It tanks your hormones. You're sleepy all the time. You're irritated all the time. You have no libido, sex drive, none of that gone. You're not going to see a woman and say, yeah, let me do the vibe. That you're not going to think of that. You're not going to cross your mind. It's
Why?
not because your body fat is where all your hormones come from. Your body fat regulates your hormones, right? Testosterone is the hormone in us that gives us our sexual desires. If testosterone production is down in the gutter, you're not going to get those thoughts, you're not going to get those feelings, you're just going to be lethargic. And even if you do get those feelings, you are too tired to do anything anyway. So it might just happen for like a couple months. I ain't gonna lie, gang.
What?
I ain't gonna lie, gang, bro. Yeah, when I'm shredded, bro, hell nah. That's the last thing on my mind. I refuse.
You see?
It's
So it
tragic.
doesn't make any sacrifices. Like just say like, okay, tonight I'm doing this for her.
Hell nah. I'm tired, bro. I ain't sleep. Hell nah. But that's why as a bodybuilder, you really need to find a good partner who understands those things, or at least understands those things when you explain it to them, so that when things happen while you're in prep, they understand, okay, this is as a result or exacerbated by prep state.
You're not attracted to me.
I am. Trust me. I like to look at you, but I don't want
like
to
to
do
look at
nothing,
you.
bruv. I don't do nothing, bruv.
But you said about size is a thing. So
Yeah.
it's by weight category, right? The
In the amateurs, yeah.
okay, so if basically you just bigger than someone in the same category as you, you get a point on them.
You would have an advantage on stage.
Would you? Okay, so how do they select you out of the amateur category?
When you exit amateur, there are the different divisions. So that'd be bodybuilding, classic physique, men's physique. That'd be the different divisions,
Okay,
right?
I see they have some bodybuilders with board shots. The board shot.
That's men's physique.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay,
but
okay,
the categories are judged differently.
okay.
Men's physique is more of a beach body-esque kind of look. Like you look at the person, you're like, okay, this person would basically look like they'd be like
They just look good.
a superstar on the beach.
Yeah, okay,
Right?
okay.
You want a small waist, wide shoulders, flaring lats. The legs are not in this looked at in this case because the butt just be covering the legs, obvious.
So what if you look like a bodybuilder in men's physique?
Then you'll be marked down.
Oh,
Yeah.
So like you're too big.
So like if you're too big in men's physique, you might as well just go to classic physique.
Mm.
Or in certain federations there's something called muscular men's physique, where you have a strong upper body but your legs are smaller.
Okay.
So you basically look like a bodybuilder with no legs.
I thought
Yeah.
these guys were just not as invested in
No.
this. So I didn't realize there was a different category.
It's a different category because some people can grow certain body parts better than others. One, genetic limitations, and two, let's say you get into the untested bodybuilding federations or levels. When you take performance enhancing drugs, they affect everyone differently, and the rate that you might grow at is different from the rate that somebody else might grow at. So if you're too small for open, don't do open.
Yeah.
Might do classic for now, and if you want to go to the extra step, take more gear to get bigger, then you go to open.
Okay.
Or if you want to stay if you want to stay small enough that you look good but not take too much gear that you get too big, then you do men's physique with a good physique and you look good. Yeah.
Okay. But yeah, back to that. So basically, you're just taking the trade off that it's not it's not healthy.
During the entire process, everything is healthy. When you get to that super lean body fat percentage, that is not healthy. That's exactly why bodybuilders
what's
don't.
the baseline healthy body fat percentage?
Like the leanest you could go?
Yeah, without it being unhealthy.
I would say when you go under 8%, you're really beginning to push the body. And I would say definitely under 6 is not healthy from a holistic perspective.
What's the lowest you've been?
Probably like in the 5s, maybe possibly 4s. I'm not sure. Like 4 point something, maybe. I would being conservative, I would say like 5 points. In that range, yeah.
Wow. I feel like my lowest body fat percentage was maybe like 20.
When you see 5% body fat for the first time on you it's different.
Bro, that's not going to happen.
No, I'm not saying you don't do it. If you don't do it on stage,
I'm not going to
do not do 5% body fat for fun. It's not fun.
I've had zero desire to look like a bodybuilder.
It's not necessary because
I just want to look good. At some point, I just want to look
Bro,
good.
you have abs at 15% body fat. Wait, 5% is completely unnecessary.
Okay, let's get into it. My first question I have for you. Muscle growth. What's the science and the mechanics? What's happening inside of your body when it comes to muscle growth? When we lift the weight and stuff and all that, what's going on? How does a muscle actually grow?
Okay, scientific bodybuilding. That
Yes.
shit. Okay. So within sarcomeres, which is basically the smallest what I don't know how to call it, but within sarcomeres, which is basically like a muscle cell, essentially. Don't quote me on that. But there's something called actin and there's something called myosin. These are two fibers, right? Now, when you, let's say, do a bicep curl and you're contracting the muscle, actin and myosin fibers, they will begin to attach. And they will attach more and more and more, kind of like Velcro, right? Now, this creates tension. You also create tension when you go down in an eccentric, a negative, right? It pulls them apart. So that's because there's tension here, all right? This is what you call mechanical tension. It is the driver behind hypertrophy. Period. Point blank.
Hypertrophy
Is muscle growth.
okay.
Right? You need hypertrophy. Well, muscular hypertrophy, because hypertrophy happens in any cell, whether it be
So
the heart cell, fat cell.
Okay.
There's fat cell hypertrophy.
I did not know that.
Hypertrophy simply means to get bigger.
I thought hypertrophy was just muscle.
No, hypertrophy is a descriptive word. It's a descriptive word speaking to the increase in size of any cell.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
It does not have to be a muscle cell. Your heart cells can hypertrophy.
Your heart cells.
Yes, and that's
Okay.
very deadly. Actually, don't want that to happen. That's a death sentence. Yeah.
Why?
Your heart should not get bigger. That's biology. Yeah. Your heart
Can
should
your
not
heart
get
get smaller though? After it's gotten bigger?
No. Your heart can't get smaller after it's grown. You don't want your heart to grow at all. Because when a heart gets bigger, it becomes less efficient at pumping blood.
How does it get bigger though? Like what happens?
You can take steroids, that would cause it. And there's various physical ailments that can cause it to hypertrophy. And you don't want that to happen. Hypertrophy. And you don't want that to happen, yeah.
That's insane.
That can kill you.
Okay.
That's actually how a lot of bodybuilders die.
You said
Yeah.
something about bodybuilders dying backstage.
Yeah, they've died backstage, but that's more due to the prep situation. Like there was a girl who died in 2024, I think. 2024 Arnold, no, 2025 Arnold. She died backstage because she was so dehydrated. Because when you're super lean, right, water can appear under your skin, and that can diminish your look in front of the judges. So a lot of bodybuilders try to step on stage very dehydrated. Well, they try to find a balance between dehydrated and being full. It's a very difficult balance to achieve, and it can be deadly if you do it wrong.
That's insane.
Which
and
is
I
why,
don't know that.
which is why I would always say bodybuilding is not healthy for you. You need to be very intelligent of how you do it. If you do it at the highest levels, there's a lot of triggers and switches you have to know how to press in order to get the best possible. Far less if you take gear, which is why I don't want to take gear in my life ever, at least right now.
quick flex, natural by the way. Natural by
It's
the
not
way.
that impressive.
Natural by the way. Just saying. Yeah, okay, so that's what I'm asking these questions for the people that actually want to know how muscle actually grows, because people tend to go to the gym and just do a million reps, do a million sets, and probably not eat, and then expect to grow, expect to get muscles, expect to be the biggest person or get muscular in 2 weeks, and that kind of thing.
Yeah.
So apart from the scientific explanation, how do we grow?
Okay, so you have to create that mechanical tension, right? Now, mechanical tension is predominantly caused when you get close. Well, you get more mechanical tension the closer you go to failure on any given set, right? Because what you have to understand is that your body works on something called the Hensman size principle. And that means that muscle fibers will be recruited in ascending order of size. When you first begin a set, your body will only activate the smallest muscle fibers, right? And then as you progress in the set, because it gets harder, your brain immediately is like, yo, we need some more backup, bro. Call the big boys in the back and help us lift this weights, because we're getting tired now. So we're going to call those guys in the back to help us. They're bigger cells. And then that goes on until you get to failure. And when you get to failure, you can no longer recruit any more muscle fibers.
Is it the same kind of concept as like kind of compensating? So when you doing a set and like you have bad technique, you kind of compensate using other muscle
in a way,
groups?
yeah, but that's different because it's compensation.
Yeah.
But if you do something with good technique and you maintain good technique during the entire set, Hidden Science Principle, I think I'm pronouncing that wrong. Don't quote me on that pronunciation. But yeah, it's the principle that we have to...
Comment to correct him, by the way.
If I wrong, I wrong.
Tell him
But
he's wrong.
yeah, but that's
Idiot.
the principle. Girl, I ain't clicked to be a genius, bro. But yeah, muscle fibers are recruited in ascending order of size, and the bigger the muscle fiber, the more power it can create. So, but the also thing is, the bigger the muscle fiber, the more potential it has to get bigger. So we have these things. We have type 1 fibers, which are they're not very powerful in terms of actually producing force, but they're very resistant to fatigue. So when you're walking, you're not using
Yeah.
you're not using a massive muscle fiber, right? But when you're lifting something heavy, then you go into your type 2A and your type 2X fiber, which are bigger muscle fibers that can produce a lot more force, right? But they also get tired very quickly, right? So in anaerobic activity, specifically lifting or maybe a max effort sprint, you would use more type A and more type 2A and type 2X fibers. And if you're doing a brisk walk or a warm-up set, you most likely use more of a type 1 fiber. But type 1 fibers cannot grow as much as type 2 fibers,
Okay.
whether it be A or X, right? So when you're lifting, you want to get into those type 2 fibers. And the only way you can get into them is if you train close to failure, which is why every bodybuilder, every lifting expert will always encourage getting close to failure. You don't have to get all the way to failure, but at least within 2 reps of failure, and you'll be fine.
Like one or two reps
Yeah.
left in the tank.
I typically leave one in the tank on all my sets.
Okay.
I don't typically like going to failure because you also have to understand is you have to play that fatigue game as well because you get tired as you lift, and that fatigue is not just you breathing hard. No, your CNS gets taxed.
What's that?
Your central nervous system.
Okay.
Right?
Okay.
You have to. There's something called supraspinal fatigue and spinal fatigue, and those are two fatigues that you have to. They're not the devil like a lot of science-based lifters like to purport on the internet, but there's something you can keep in mind if you want your training to be more effective, which is why, there's certain things you could do like train a lower rep range and do other stuff just to mitigate that effect.
What's the most or least amount of reps? Because you did say that you just train to failure, which is what basically makes you grow. But is there like a minimum amount of reps that you should
typically do? Well, it depends. I would say it depends on your technique.
Because if you say that like just taking your word at face value, I can probably just load 200 pounds on a bench press and just do 1 rep and
yeah,
That's
right. But more reps up to a point does mean more growth, right? But well, I shouldn't say that. I typically don't like to do less than 4 reps.
Okay.
I like to stay within like 4 to 10 reps.
Okay.
Right? Going much lower than that, and you're not really getting a prolonged stimulus on the muscle. Time under tension, quote unquote, not really a thing as how people think about it, but it's a thing technically.
Okay.
But if you go too high, you're lifting a load that doesn't really challenge your muscles too much. So in excess of 30 reps, if you look at the research, it indicates that excess of 30 reps is not really doing much for growth. And I would say under 3 reps is not doing much for growth. A double on a bicep curl, what are you doing, bro? No. Lower the weight, get like 5 reps. That's good enough. Heavy 5 reps, put in the effort. And yeah, keep technique good and you're gonna grow your arms.
Okay. Apart from that though, what are the other factors that help me grow? So apart from
protein intake.
Okay.
Yeah.
Let's talk about that.
It'd be just mechanical tension and protein intake, to be honest. Mechanical tension is the thing that creates the signal that your body has to grow to adapt to what you just experienced. And protein is what your body will use to build new muscle tissue so that you can lift more weight and be more accustomed to what you just experienced.
So if I want to grow, all I need to do is work out hard enough and
eat enough protein. Right.
Okay.
It's very simple.
I don't have to be measuring like all my food and
why
do
do
people do that?
I do that because I'm a nerd. But you don't have to do that. It's a situation where there are optimal ranges, and if you know what your optimal range is, then you can be more precise with. Okay, for example, right, for a regular lifter, you don't really care about getting the most out of everything, right? For most people, they don't really care. You just want to get big, look nice, cool. But if you're stepping on stage, you kind of want to accelerate muscle growth to the highest possible rate within a specific amount of time, because you have a limited amount of time that you can grow, right, before your next show, right? So if you want to max out your protein intake in terms of accelerating growth, what I would do is I'll take your body weight and I'll multiply it by 0.8. And you take that number in grams of protein per day, and that will get you the most muscle growth possible for for your body, right?
Yeah.
Now you
I
can
would
eat
that.
more, but there will not be any significant increase in terms of rate of growth.
So what happens to the extra protein? Like for example, if I'm 150, let's just use the flat number.
Mm.
So we take in 150 grams of protein. Let's say I'm eating 200 or 250 grams of
Yeah.
protein. What does my body do? It's just wasted.
It's just user energy.
Okay, so
It,
it's
it just
not
gets it just gets metabolized or converted to fat.
okay. So basically wasted, like in terms of in the perspective of growth, muscle
Perspective
growth.
of growth, there might be like minuscule increases in magnitude of muscle growth, but it's not like a jump from like 0.5 grams per pound of body weight to like 0.8. If you go from 0.8 to like 1 gram per pound, the increase in growth is not significant enough to warrant eating that just for muscle growth. If you enjoy eating more protein, go ahead, but
Yeah.
there's not a physiological benefit from doing it besides maybe keeping you fuller for longer, because protein does take the longest to digest by the body, and other factors.
What about like dirty bulking? Because people do dirty bulk and they do grow.
Yeah, you would grow.
I don't even know how to ask that question, but what makes you grow? Because let me ask that.
Right.
When you say dirty bulking,
Right.
is it eating fast food or just anything like junk and sweets? Like what exactly is it?
When people talk about dirty bulking, I think what they're talking about is eating a lot of food in a limited amount of time, compared to eating a lot of food in order to just put on weight.
Okay.
Right? Now, putting on weight
And not necessarily
and putting on muscle
thinking-
is two different things.
Oh, so it's weight.
It's a weight.
Okay.
Right? Because, okay, think of it like this, right? If you're eating a lot of food, then it's much more likely that you get what you need rather than eating a little bit of food, right? So the process, so I think when people think about dirty bulking, they say, oh, it's a good thing to do. It's because maybe you've been 140 pounds your entire life and you wanna see that magical number of 200. So you're gonna eat a lot of food so you can gain a lot of weight, and you're gonna train. Now you're gonna get muscle growth from that because you're training and you're getting in food which probably has a lot of protein. So you're gonna grow from that.
But what if
the
you just eat it, though?
but the issue is now you also gain a lot of fat.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking, because if you don't know anything about like just nutrients and food and that kind of thing, and like you just eating out of bread,
Right.
like you're just eating how much bread and cheese, so you
Just like
just
cheese.
you're just going to get. That was my favorite snack, by the way. You see grilled cheese, like
Bro.
yeah. But like yeah, you just eating like normally you eat one, you eating three now
Right.
in the night. Now, would you even get that much muscle from that?
From just eating bread and cheese?
Bread and cheese, like not necessarily protein filled things, you just eating
Well,
more.
because you're training,
Yeah.
you're going to kick off the process of actually growing. But you would still get protein from bread and from cheese. Cheese has protein, bread has trace amounts of protein. So you'd still get some protein. The issue is your growth rate would be stunted by the fact that you don't have as much amino acids
So
from
you're just
protein
not being
available.
as efficient as
Right.
possible when it comes to
Right. Now, if you were to just add in a good amount of protein per meal, that would then skyrocket the amount of amino acids available for your body to use to grow more muscle, and therefore your rate of growth would be increased. But remember, your body can only use so much protein at one time. So therefore, going above 0.8 doesn't lead to any significant increases in growth. It doesn't.
How do I know what has protein and what doesn't? For just a novice that gymming, I want to grow, but
Meat, egg, fish. Meat, egg, fish, milk. That's a pretty good source there.
what about
And on the
what
vegan
about grams,
size,
like
on the
measurements? So since we spoke about like the so let's use the example again. We 150 pounds. So we want to get 150 pounds. Let's just make it simple. We want to get 150 grams of protein in every day. How do I measure as a novice the amount of protein that my milk or fish or chicken or whatever has?
read the back of the
So I have to look at me like I'm an idiot.
no, because people often come to me and they're like, bro, I don't get enough protein. And I'm like, okay, how much do you weigh? I weigh 160 pounds. Okay, how much protein do you eat a day? Oh, I don't know how to check that. Do you check the back of the food that you eat before you eat it?
But nobody does that though.
Yeah, but that's the thing. You should.
Yeah, no, but like
Because-
that's not a normal.
Because when you
thing.
understand what serving sizes are,
Yeah.
your mindset changes, bro. People will eat an entire like the big packet of tea time, and they'll be like, "Oh, that's just 107 calories." No, it's per serving. A serving is 2.
So that's like 2,000 calories.
A serving is 2. You just ate 1,000 calories in one sitting, bro. 1,000 calories.
Now you know what I have to check the serving size for.
What?
There's what's that biscuit? Is it not? You know that not Devona,
Oh no, that's a bad
not
idea.
Devona. What?
I know exactly what you're talking
It's
about.
a red thing with a chocolate
I
biscuit.
know what you're talking
I
about.
can't remember the
I know what you're
name. It's
talking
not
about. I can't remember the name.
Bourbon.
No,
Bourbon.
read the back.
I have to read the serving size one because I eat almost an entire packet of that. Like when I actually
The
buy it,
small one or the big one?
the big one, the one that big,
Oh,
so and it
that-
probably have like 15 or 20.
That's tough.
in
Bro. I
it.
feel like it's like two or 4 biscuits.
Wow.
Yeah.
At like let's say 300 calories.
Yeah. Guys,
I-
listen. No, listen to me. If you want diet advice, you read the back of the food that you eat. Like sit there, take your time, you go through Massey or wherever you shop. What you typically buy and eat, read the back of it. And
Yeah.
ask yourself, do you follow those servings? Because if you don't, you might be eating a lot more calories than you think you're eating. Because a lot of people will be like, "No, I only eat a pack of biscuit a day." Okay, cool. How many calories are in that pack of biscuit that you just ate? And how many of it do you eat a day? Because think about it like this, right? You only need to go 500 calories above your maintenance calories every day to gain a pound of weight in a week.
Wow. And 500
Right?
calories is not.
It's
a lot.
not that much. If
Yeah.
you really understand what food is,
Yeah.
it's not that much. Now, a week times 52. In a year, if you eat like that, you gain 52 pounds
Wow.
in a year just by eating 500 calories over your maintenance per day.
That's a crazy fact.
So when you understand how energy and the body works with energy, then you understand, okay, it's very easy to be overweight.
that is actually a
It's
crazy
very
fact.
easy to get overweight.
Especially,
bro.
I don't do stereotype, but especially for the women, because I feel like
no. We stereotyping.
no, because let me tell you why I say that. Because I feel like again,
Say
I really don't do
You
stereotype.
know what I'm saying?
But I'm
I
going
say it.
no. I was saying because I know what I'm thinking. I feel like women complain a lot more
Right.
about because I don't say women have more trouble losing weight. I feel like women complain a lot more about not being able to lose weight. And what you just said there about the being 500 calories over the thing, I think that's a crazy fact for you to actually pay attention to.
It's like we as a society we have become so used to eating whatever we want because it tastes good. What you have to understand is that when something tastes good, it probably has a lot of fat and a lot of carbs. Because those two macronutrients will make things taste good. So if it tastes really damn good, it probably has a lot of fat and a lot of carbs in it. Now, if you understand calories, a gram of fat is 9 calories. 1 gram of fat is 9 calories, right?
Wow.
1 gram of fat, right? Okay, cool. Now explain to me how much oil do you use to fry your chicken?
Boy. Like that probably full
Now,
up and
now oil is just fat. There's no carbs, there's no protein in oil, right? So if you eat fried foods every day, my brother, you are eating a lot of calories that you don't even understand where they come from.
but making it taste good.
But you make it taste good though. So the answer is always moderation.
Yeah.
If you like them things, you eat them things
In moderation.
within a limited amount.
What's the actually I didn't even want to because we're already straight from the original.
Nah, but
thing.
it's fun though.
But let me ask one more thing before we
Right.
get back. Okay, so the question I want to get back to is
The protein.
the protein.
Right.
How do we measure?
Right.
But what's the moderation of eating something unhealthy? Like for example, what's the maximum times I am allowed to eat something unhealthy? Which is over my maintenance calories
Nah.
per week.
That's a very generalized statement. It all depends on how your diet is already structured.
So I'm eating fairly good.
If you're eating very good, I would say you can get away with once a week.
Once.
Have something nice once. Well, it
about
also
twice?
depends on your goals, bro. Because if your goals,
my goals is not bodybuilder.
because
My goals
if your
is
goal
just
if your goal is to lose body weight, then you want to limit those exposures
as much as
possible. Because
Yeah.
if every exposure to increase calories is going to reduce the amount of fat you lose per week.
okay. So
So-
just be disciplined.
Yes.
Just be disciplined.
Essentially, be smart because if you track your food like I do every day, I track my food on an app. I weigh my food because I'm a nerd. But if you do that, then you can actually sit there and say, okay, I have this allowance for a little snack. I'm going to not eat this amount of food so I can fit this food in. Can I like it? This Saturday, yeah, because I love cake.
What's your
cake, bro?
chick cake?
Cake, bro. Cake,
Nothing
bro.
else?
Fruit cake, tiramisu cake,
Just
kiss
cake.
cake. Boy, me and cake. My mother just made some banana bread last night, boy. What? I fear already. I tell you, cake, bro. I love cake, bro. Jesus Christ.
So let's get back to the original question now. So we're going back to measuring.
all right.
One thing that I also used to do, just when it comes to just gauging the amount of protein my food has, just Google it too.
Yeah.
Because you could just Google what an average banana.
Yeah.
You know how much
I
protein?
would say something I like to use, or something I've been trying to help with people who don't ask me questions, is look at your plate. Imagine your plate of food in front of you, right? Now divide it into thirds. So 1/4 of that is just a good protein source. So like maybe baked chicken or like some fish, something not processed heavily like fried, no fried foods, right? Now a third veggies. That will get you a lot of micronutrients. That will get you a lot of fiber. I'll get you a lot of that for the day, right? That keeps your body in check because micronutrients are much more important than people believe. A lot of people are critically underdosing their macros on a daily basis.
I think that's me.
That's why I take a multivitamin every morning.
Mhm.
And I take a fish oil pill every morning because I want to make sure my shit's on point. Right? And then the other part, carbs. So whether it be ground provisions, whether it be rice, whatever you want, as long as maybe not fried potato, because that's fried again, oil.
Yeah.
You put that there. And then that's your eating.
That's the energy.
That's good. That's good eating. That will keep you lean, bro. And keep you full. The protein from the meat sauce, and the fiber from the veggies, you're gonna be lean, bro. You're gonna be full. Before I came here, I had a bowl of chicken breast and cucumber. That was my lunch today.
Well, imagine that's what I was actually coming to ask you. I was if I'm getting the amount of protein and nutrients that I want to get in a day with one meal, does it matter?
No.
Okay.
No, it doesn't matter. It's fine. Your body, there's no set limit on how much protein you can have in one meal in your body.
Because I just thought of it in a perspective of maybe your body some kind of gets wasted.
No, it doesn't get wasted. Your body is very efficient at using what you give it. What you give it, it will use it.
I feel like the less you eat, the more efficient it will get.
No.
I just think of it that way. Like
No,
to me, the more you eat,
it will stay in your stomach and it will get digested as time progresses. It will not. If you can eat 2,000 calories in one sitting, sure, go ahead. Of good food, probably not, bro. Good food, 1,000 calories in one sitting is a lot of food.
Yeah,
it's a lot of food, right? Get all your boxes checked in one meal. Probably not gonna happen. And if you have that meal, you're probably not gonna be hungry for the rest of the day. To be honest, because there's gonna be a lot of fiber.
But you're going to be tired, though.
Yeah, you might get lethargic because you got a lot of carbs and then insulin.
And then there's the energy.
But then again, digestion rates will be slow because you just eat a lot of protein as well and a lot of fiber as well.
But your body not like using energy to actually digest all that food.
Yes,
you just
no,
consume.
but that's not what gets you tired. What gets you tired is insulin.
Okay.
When you get that niggeritis feeling, it's simply just insulin. The result of insulin being released in your system and making you tired. Because you realize you only get that feeling when you eat a large amount of carbs in one sitting. That's your body overreacting and saying a lot of insulin, balancing your blood sugar, and that'll get you tired.
So what if you eat like a lot of carbs but a lot of fiber?
It will slow down.
Because fiber counteracts insulin, right?
No, fiber digests slower. So
how do you counteract insulin?
You can't counteract insulin.
Really?
It's an automatic response.
No. I mean, okay.
So basically, what you either want to do is, if you want, there's no detriment with insulin being in your system. It's not a bad thing. The issue is if it's there for a long period of time,
and then you become resistant.
And then that causes diabetes, right? That's the issue. Now, if you want to mitigate that, you just don't eat a lot of carbs in one sitting, because more carbs in your blood, more sugar in your blood at one point, because that's what carbs are, basically sugars. More carbs eating at one point pure carbs means that there's meat, because carbs is very easy to digest super quickly, gets in system super quickly, right? So if you eat fiber at the same time, fiber digests very slowly. So it would slow down how your carbs get instant,
So
because
you kind of just
so
prolong
your
Yeah,
exposures, and
okay,
you will
okay.
not get the high amounts of insulin
spikes.
production.
The
Exactly.
spikes. Okay.
Right.
Was one of the biggest mistakes that people do when they start gym, when it comes to trying to grow in the gym?
I thought about this question literally this morning, and I was thinking about, I was watching some training videos some of my friends are posting, and there's two issues I see every day in the gym. If someone's already in the gym, it's one, either they critically undertrain, so they don't really push their bodies. Like you're in the gym and you take it, basically you're like, oh, it's a fun land, you're not pushing your body, because you're in here to work. You're here to work. You're going here to do your sets, push your body, and then leave. That's your goal when you're in the gym. If you have people in the gym and talk to people in the gym, that's different. But during your sets are not supposed to be comfortable.
Yeah.
There, at some point, it's supposed to be, you're supposed to have to make a choice. Do I continue or do I stop? Because it gets uncomfortable to continue, right? Well, within the lift and within the muscle that you're trying to train, right? Because obviously it's going to get harder as you go. And then the other issue is people completely over lift. So they will lift a load that's too heavy for them, but they'll compensate, as you said.
I hate to see that.
Because they are ego lifting. They want to project to the world that they're strong, or project it, or prove themselves that they're strong.
I would respect somebody so much that, and that's something I do. I go to the gym, and I know if I want to chest press with dumbbells to 15 pounds, if it's 15 pounds I'm struggling with, I will use 15 pounds.
Just stay there until you get strong enough for your 20s.
Like I would respect you, because you have no, like, somebody that just entered the gym, you same size as me, and you want to come and take 220-pound dumbbells on each hand.
Because it's like,
you
it's
look
like
dumb. You look
you want. I wouldn't say dumb. I would just say
is the word.
you look naive. That's what I would say. You look naive to me. You look like you just want to come in the gym and lift heavyweight because you've seen bodybuilders it on Instagram, on YouTube. It looks cool. Maybe you have some stronger friends who can do it as well. You want to show off, you want to impress them. You want to say, "Oh, I'm one of the boys. I can do it too." No, you can't. Don't do it.
When I used to train with my partners,
even I have that issue sometimes.
When I used to train with my partners, I was always the first to do the set, because we just know the set gets heavier from there. So when I started bench press, I used to only bench press the bar. And then so I used to go first, and then let's say Krivan goes next. Krivan put 245s on that, or 245s on that as warm up. You know, but my warm up is the bar.
Now you see that's fine. You have to meet your body where it is, not where you want it to be, not maybe less than where it is. Where it is, if you can lift, I don't know, 30 pounds on a dumbbell curl for 10 reps with good form and get to failure, or come within 2 reps of failure, stay there. Eventually, the amount of reps you can do is going to increase. And then at that point, you can choose, okay, let me take a 35 now, a 45 now.
You said
even I struggle with that sometimes. Sometimes I'm like, boy, I want to lift a lot more weight than I do it now, because I feel like that not looking like me. Like I'm supposed to be the strong guy and I struggling with 40 pounds on a lateral raise. What kind of thing is that? And then I try to do more with it, and it's like, nope, that was a bad idea.
Because that happened to me.
Because I'm also a guy who loves technique. So if I pick a weight that's more than I can lift and my technique needs to break down, now I'm pissed off.
Yeah.
Because I should have been smart enough. I should have, but we're all slaves to our emotions sometimes. I should have been more cognizant enough to say, no, you track your lifts. You know what you can lift, and you try to put 10 pounds on that. Sherkym, let's be realistic.
You ever misgauge your weight?
Yep.
Like, not just out of ego, like just, okay, I finished that, maybe I can do 10 pounds heavier.
Yeah.
Yo,
it happens.
10 pounds feels so heavy when you're on max.
It depends on the lift as well.
I was doing bench press. I was doing bench press, and
I hate bench so much.
Smith bench press, and
it doesn't make it any better. I hate bench.
I did like a max.
Right.
I did a max like the first 2 weeks of
Right.
training. I was like, yeah, I feel comfortable.
And you can do more. Yeah.
I added 10 pounds to that bitch.
A lot heavier, bruv. Bruv, a lot, bruv.
That went down. I thought I was going to
Bruv.
die.
Bruv.
That went down, yo.
Bruv, I recently got to.
I had to lock the weight like
Uh,
just on
run,
top of me
run.
and just kind of.
I recently got to 245. Well, 245 plates on each side with a
Yeah.
10 on each side again.
How much weight is that?
That's if we assume that the Smith machine bar is 45 pounds, then that's 245, right?
Okay.
I just got there, I got ear reps. I'm like, bro, I feeling strong, check it.
Yeah.
But you know, me knowing I can be an idiot, I say, you know what, we're going to add 2.5 pound plates on each side. 2.5 pounds, that's 5 pounds, right? Bloop. I lose 2 reps. I was like, what? I make it, I lose 2 reps like that. I got 6 reps
That's 5 pounds. Eh?
from 5 pounds, which is why I know when I say, yo, be very, very conservative with your estimate of how strong you are.
Yeah.
Be very conservative.
I learned that lesson very,
Be
very quickly.
very conservative because one, if your technique is off, your growth is limited because you're not putting the tension where it has to be because you're using other muscles to lift the weight. If you lift the weight that's lighter but you can control it properly through the technique that you want to you want to use, then you're going to get better stimulus in the muscle.
So how do you know how to increase? How do I know when to increase my weight? Because let's say we're doing 10 reps max, and I can do, let's say, 8 reps comfortably, maybe 1 or 2 in the tank. Should I increase?
I follow a dynamic double progression model. So essentially I set a range for myself, and typically my range is like 4 to 8. Or maybe 6 to 8, right? Depends on what lift I'm doing and the set I'm doing, right? So let's say I'm doing 2 sets for a lift, like for example, bench, right? So for bench, I have 2 sets. Now for the first set, my range is 6 to 8 reps. For the second set, it is, because I increased the weight for the second set, it's 4 to 6 reps, right? So if I'm doing my first set, right, and I can comfortably touch 8 reps, like with 1 or 2 reps in the tank, the next time I come in the gym for that specific session, I'm going to increase the weight.
By how much?
Depends on because that's why I like to track my lifts. If I track my lifts, then I understand how, like, what different increases do to my lifts. Because sometimes, for squats, I can increase the lift by, let's say, 10 pounds and feel basically no difference in terms of the load. Because I'm strong on squats. My quads are pretty strong. I barely feel the increase in load with just 10 pounds extra, right? But with something like bench, 10 pounds is a lot. So it depends on the load and it depends on you. You might be somebody who's built to bench. So 10 pounds on bench increase is nothing to you. It could be that. For me, it's not that. I increase my weight by 5 pounds every time I want to increase it, right?
Wow.
I understand my physiology is not being to the bench. I'm not a bench guy. I'm a squat / deadlift guy. Right? Legs is my strong point.
I see you take pride in that.
I take pride in my squat. But my bench, I will tell you straight up. Nah, that's my thing. So it depends on you, depends on the lift, depends on if you have prior data. You can use past data to determine, okay, cool. Last time I increased the weight by 5 pounds, I dropped, because what you want to do is you want to increase the weight within the range that you set for yourself. So my range is 6 to 8. So I want to pick a weight when I add it on the bar. I lose 6 reps. So for me, I know that's 5 pounds.
Yeah.
So when I get to 8 reps on my first set comfortably, the next time I come in the gym, I'm going to increase that first set's weight by 5 pounds. So it's good. So I can predictively see a decrease of 2 reps from that set. And then I'm going to use that weight again until I get back to it. And then do the same thing again.
So 6 is like your kind
It's
of
my
minimum.
minimum.
Yeah, okay.
Right.
Because that's what I was saying. Like when you increase the weight, how do you like gauge? Okay, is that's good? That's like too much weight.
It depends on it depends on your it depends on your technique. If you are somebody who has good technique, you can use heavier weights with lower rep ranges better because your technique is dialed. But for most beginners, I would say stick within like 8 to 12 reps.
What do you have to say about, let's say, sets now? Let's talk about
Right.
sets. So I know you. For me, I like your technique in terms of like.
No one likes my technique.
In terms of doing 2 sets per body part, I personally just feel like
Just do more.
I'm not working. You know?
Depends on how you push the set, man.
No, serious. Like even if I push the set, I push myself. I just feel like that's not enough.
We have
Like,
to get a session sometime.
I don't do that.
Right, you see that?
I don't do that.
Fear.
I don't do
Fear.
that.
You see,
As a
nice.
matter of fact,
That's fair.
As a matter of
fair.
fact, the last man that told me that, remember Bill?
Yeah.
Worked out with him.
Bill's scared of me now.
And
Bill, I calling you out.
No,
bro.
I'm just saying, I'm just saying.
Love you, Bill.
You say like work out together, man. I was kind of afraid, but I said yes.
Let's go, bro.
Yeah. Nah, I accept.
Damn, bro. These niggas, bro. They just be, running, bro.
I good.
You know how many times somebody is like, bro, you're looking big, bro, until it's with you. I bet, cool, no problem, G.
You sport? Do you believe in sporting?
Yeah, I sport.
Okay.
Depends on the lift and depends on the person. So now I'm times I get to somebody, they're like, bro, lift with you, bro. And they see what I do, and they're like, yo, what the hell is this guy on, bro? I'm like, yo, you don't have to do my weight. We can do less weight.
Yeah.
We can do, if you show me, we can do more weight.
Would
bro.
you do like if somebody's doing less weight,
Uh-huh.
would you just do their weight or would you
Depends on the lift, depends on how much of a hassle it is to increase the weight. Depends on the
because
day.
that kind of just mess up your workout.
Because I track my list, so I like to see
Yeah.
my list increase over time, right? So I write it down in an Excel spreadsheet, right? Nerd, I know. But so typically I like to stick to my own loads, and I typically don't like to change my workouts per, like, just some boys tell me, oh, let's do cable kickbacks for glutes. No, I'm gonna do hip press because I've been doing hip press for like 8 weeks now, so I'm to stick to hip press.
If that mess up
If the hip press machine is taken, or the Smith machine is taken, then I'm okay. I have no choice now. Now I'm going to do kickbacks because it works the same muscle in the same way anyway. So yeah,
but it's like kind of
but it's different.
Yeah,
so
just different.
but it's not. I can't see the same numbers, bro.
Yeah.
So what if I got another rep in?
Yeah, exactly.
And now I will not
Now
see
you
guy
mess
not
up
doing
the-
the
you
movement.
mess up the
Now I'm pissed, man. Man.
Okay,
yeah.
but let's get back. We keep segueing. Bro.
Yeah, but that's the best kind of interviews, though.
Yeah, we keep segueing.
Just being idiots.
But yeah, okay. So let's go back to just bad technique and like the
Alright.
biggest mistakes people make.
Good technique,
Um,
always.
Yeah. So
Always.
what's one of the worst techniques that makes you grow or slows down growth? Slows down growth.
You mean like,
So like you trying to grow
Alright.
using like you have a bad habit in the gym
uh,
that slows down your growth. Like
You-
what do you see people do?
body using muscle groups that have nothing to do with the lift.
What? What?
Like,
I'm using a like,
no, bro.
What?
Bro, we
That doesn't make any
no,
sense. yo.
if you understand what I'm talking about, you understand what I'm talking about. Right? So like, okay,
Like how can you?
okay, I'm doing a
Bro,
bicep curl.
how can you be doing chest
Uh,
and you doing like flies or something? Like what? That doesn't make sense.
you
Like
know,
you're
you
doing
have to
some
explain?
shoulder
Let me
flies.
explain, brother. You ever see a man do lateral raises and then the man legs moving, the man kind of squatting up and down to get himself to move the weight? You ever see that?
Oh,
Right.
Okay. So we kind of like
Is
boosting
lateral
the
raises
weight.
for your quads?
They
It's not for your
They're boosting
Yeah,
the weight.
yeah. You're doing bicep curls and your elbows coming all the way up.
Yeah.
That's your shoulders working, bruv. That's not your biceps, bruv. You understand what I'm saying, bruv?
So they're not isolated.
Yeah. If depends on the lift. What are you trying to target here? If you're targeting a muscle, cool. Are you okay? Think of it like this, right? If I'm doing a bench press, no, better yet, but here's a better one. Here's a better one. If I'm doing a tricep push down,
Okay.
right? Cable has a push down, right?
Yeah.
The goal is to train my triceps. My triceps connect to my elbow,
Mm-hmm.
right? So what I should be moving is my elbow,
Yeah. Which means just straight.
right?
Yeah.
Why is my shoulder moving, bro?
like.
No, like,
Oh, like up. Damn.
why are you doing
Wow.
this? This is an extra movement that is you're not moving away. You're adding momentum.
Yeah.
So when
to
you get to the
push.
point to explode on your elbows, you now have momentum to assist you. No, brother, no. It's not. I'm not making fun of people who do this because they genuinely think, okay, this technique is good. Because when you're a beginner in the gym, you literally don't know anything. You don't
yeah.
know anything.
Yeah.
So you're gonna come in the gym and you say, okay, I wanna do this movement because I see people online doing it and they say it'll give me nice arms. I'm just gonna figure out how to do it.
Try to copy them.
Right.
Yeah.
But what if the person trying to copy, you see somebody doing it in the gym? What if the person who's doing it doesn't know good technique?
Yeah.
So it's a situation where you have to understand, okay, I'm doing this lift for this particular reason. Am I am I using the correct joint? Yes, cool. Are you using any other joints? Okay, if you are using a joint, if the answer is yes, cool. And now ask yourself this question: do I need to be moving this extra joint? Because if you're doing hip first, your knees have to move a little bit, right? But if your knees are coming all the way back and all the way forward, then there's something wrong here because your knees shouldn't be moving that much.
Yeah.
There is a margin of error. So if you're doing a push down and your elbows, you're pushing down and your shoulders come forward a little bit just to extend your elbow, that's a natural reflex.
Are you one of the people that corrects people in the gym, like randoms?
Not anymore.
That's unlike the Tower story behind it.
Bro, you know how many times I come to somebody tell them, oh bro, you could do this better, and they say, why you talk, bro? Brother, but that day I was perplexed that man tell me that. But he was doing a pec deck. Now
I find you
bro,
the indiscreet one, by the way. The man don't ask you for your help.
fair. I agree. Which is why I was like, so why tell people things? That do your thing,
Yeah,
bro.
just shut up and
That's why I stopped.
Yeah.
But like, he was a guy. In fact, he was my little brother's supervisor at the time.
Okay.
And when we used to come to the gym together, when Gerald was here, my little brother, big up my brother. No one's about it. I love that, bro. He used to talk. So I was like, okay, cool. You know, my little brother, so I can, if I see interact with you, right? I see bros doing flies, right? Now he has that machine set all the way back. So he's coming all the way back into fly. I'm like, you don't need to do all that. You could have it on like a 3 rather than a 6.
Yeah.
Bro's like, how you know that? I'm like, because that's how the chess works. He's like, but who are you to talk to me? I'm like, okay, Irish killer. Pick up yourself. I'm never giving advice again.
Never.
I haven't given
Mess it up for everybody.
unless we cool, and I know we cool already, not friends, but cool. Then if you come to me and tell me, oh bro, help me with that, cool, no problem. If you're a random, come to me, yo, I have that.
I don't know.
No problem. I don't mind having randoms if you come and ask me, but I'm not going to offer advice to a random I don't know.
Yeah.
If I see my partner listening something and I say, bro, you could do that better, except man I know who would be receptive to the advice.
Yeah.
I'll go up to him, bro, you could do this a little better. Like I know my partner, Plush. Plush knows if I come to him and tell him something, then he could be better. And he actually listens. Just like he's an expert on certain things. And if I want advice on the things that he's an expert at, and he talks to me, I listen.
Yeah.
He's an expert on these things, right? I believe in that kind of situation. But if I come to somebody and they're like, wait, what you saying? Or if I give you advice and I see you go back to doing what you're doing before, I'm not talking.
Yeah.
Bro.
Yeah.
And realistically, people have ruined it for anybody.
Everybody.
So I'm not giving advice if I don't know you. And that's no disrespect, but I don't like to be made ashamed for no reason.
Understandable.
You know, I don't have shame already. But don't make me have less shame. You understand what I'm saying? Yeah.
So, okay, so we're going back to the question that I asked the last time.
At this point, bro, we should just
no,
go off
no,
script.
not even a segue though. Not even a segue.
We just go off
I
script,
asked, that was like probably the $1 million question.
bro. $1 million
right?
question.
If you had to give me 10 exercises.
Oh, that question.
10 exercises, I cannot do anything else. All right, I could only
For the rest of your life?
Yeah, these
Sure.
10 exercises for growth
That's tough.
to have a complete workout. Okay, from
10.
the top of my head to the tip of my toes.
Wombo.
Okay, give me 10 exercises.
You care about calves?
Yes.
Shit.
Yes. We care
I
about calves.
try to refer to calves.
We care about
We'll
calves.
just start calves then.
We just
Calves then. Leg press, calf.
Okay.
Leg press, like toe press on a leg press machine. Toe press.
On a leg press.
Yeah, so if you sit on a leg press, you put your foot on the bottom so that your heel is hanging under, and you just let the weight come forward.
Would
Stretch
you
the
not
calf.
do it with weight though? Like instead of doing that, like
Nah, that's easier because you're sitting down. It's more.
no, standing.
No, I rather do it sitting. If
Sitting.
for straight leg, I don't have that at my gym, so I can't do that. But I would rather do it sitting.
Okay.
It's always better sitting.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Because
What about the one where you Just sitting like
with,
you on a
with
chair?
a bent knee? Nah,
Yeah.
less
No?
effective for growth.
Okay.
Yeah.
Alright.
Because
I wouldn't know.
the bigger calf muscle doesn't do well with a bent knee.
Okay.
Yeah,
Okay. So, it
So-
was in both branches.
If a straight leg, you get better overall calf growth.
Mhm.
Right. So
that's
straight
one.
leg, seated, toe press. Perfect. Calves out the way. You don't need nothing more for calves. Right? For lats, we'll do a pull down. In fact, if we start from calves, let's go up.
Yeah.
Right? So we have calves already.
Quads.
Okay, we can do we have quads, hams, we have glutes, we have adductors. All right. So we can do a stiff-legged deadlift.
Stiff-legged
In fact,
deadlift.
an RDL, Romanian deadlift. To get that would get hamstrings, glutes.
Romanian deadlift is what?
Mm,
Okay.
that
That's
would-
with dumbbells or does it
dumbbells,
matter?
barbells, Smith
Okay,
machine,
okay.
whichever one you need to pick.
Okay.
Romanian deadlift. We can't get too specific here. That's too
Okay.
much.
Okay.
Okay, that you really boxed me in, bro. That's crazy. You understand? You boxed me in, bro. A Romanian deadlift.
What that get in?
That would get hamstrings. That would get adductors. That would get glutes.
Okay.
You get those free. Boom. Right?
Okay.
Quads. Down to squat.
That's what I was gonna say. Do you want to squat?
Cause squats would be a great, but you would not get your rec fem, because the rec fem does not work if you're moving both your hip and your knee at the same time, which happens during squat. So if you squat, you would be missing the rec fem, which makes your leg really good.
Hmm.
So I would pick a leg extension.
Okay. But
I'll pick a leg extension.
that's making more sense though.
But the issue is
there's-
when you go heavy on leg extensions, your knees sometimes get problems.
Oh.
Yeah, which
okay.
is why it's like you have to just be smart of how you program it in your movement.
You kinda
but
just-
we're not going to specific programming here. We're talking about the
Okay,
movements.
okay.
So I go leg extension. That's lower body done.
That's free.
Right.
That's free.
Screw abs. We're not going to abs.
No, we doing abs.
right
We doing abs.
Okay.
We doing abs.
A cable curl.
That's
Yeah, kneel down, hold
Okay.
the cable. Just
I'm
spinal.
looking all the abs
Just
though.
proof. Yeah, spinal flexion done. You good.
Bro.
Yeah.
Think-
No, because from Romanian deadlifts, you're already getting your transverse abdominal, so your bracing muscles are already getting trained,
Okay. I
And
let
then
down slide.
and then your rectus abdominis is
Uh-huh.
getting trained from
What
the
about
front
your-
flexion.
Obliques.
That's also getting trained from the Romanian deadlift, bro.
Okay.
Stabilizing, bro.
Okay.
Yeah, so we getting that in there. Yeah, okay, that
Okay,
in there.
so yeah, let's
Yeah.
go.
Okay, now we're upper body.
Chest.
So we'll go arms now.
Arms.
So a preacher curl would be great for the forearms and the biceps. Right. Yeah, you didn't see that
Preacher curl?
coming. You didn't see that coming. Yeah, a preacher curl. Or if you want,
To me, no.
yes,
Because wouldn't it be hair?
all of this is an elbow flexor. You know this is an elbow flexor, right?
Yeah,
This
but
muscle here.
What I'm saying is like,
Uh-huh.
okay.
This muscle here is an elbow
That's how I
flexor.
test it. That's how I test it.
Yeah.
When I do this, I have
Do-
to feel
do
what
contrast,
muscle,
yeah.
what muscle
Yeah,
flex.
this is the elbow. This is
Okay.
This is the biggest muscle in your forearm.
Okay.
So
yeah.
if it grows, your muscle form will look bigger by default.
yeah.
So you do this. You do preacher curls.
I think people underestimate
The power of a
big,
preacher curl.
no big forearms.
Oh,
Big forearms make your arm look.
I
big.
don't trade forearms. I hate them.
That make
but
your arm look.
Preacher
That
curls.
make you
bro.
look like a.
So if my arms are,
gorilla,
if my
yo.
forearms are big, then it's preacher curls.
Yeah.
So it's
Your forearm looking, it just looks proportional
Yeah.
to the rest of your arm.
preacher curls, bro.
so
So we're
that's preacher girls.
yeah,
That's
so
5.
Yeah.
By the way, you halfway through your workouts.
Oh,
by the way,
we almost done it. If we good, it, bro.
Okay.
I would do a cable.
Mm-hmm. That's
um,
tricep.
Yeah, that's triceps right there.
Okay.
So triceps are done,
Mhm.
right? And then we're gonna do. We have back, and we have chest, and we have shoulders. Okay.
It's
Alright.
like you miss your
No.
4 more. Eh?
No, I good it. I have all of it already.
Okay.
Okay, so for shoulders, we're going to do a frontal plane shoulder press.
That's all.
That's all shoulders.
Front, middle,
yeah,
rear.
not front and middle. Right, you're not getting rear here.
Okay.
We'll get rear, don't
Okay,
worry.
okay.
Right? So chest,
Yeah.
we're going to do an incline close grip swift press. That's all. The whole chest done. We don't even need incline. We could just do a
How
flat.
close is close grip?
Like I would say just shoulder width.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Get your elbows coming close and up.
Okay.
Right? No, don't let your elbows flare out.
Yeah,
Let them close. That's your whole chest again. Work here, bro.
Okay.
We good here, right?
You have 2 more.
No, we almost done already,
Yeah,
bro.
yeah.
We're still, I could cheat and just one movement again, and then we're
Okay.
done. A neutral grip, lateral,
Neutral grip,
lateral.
lateral.
Right.
And that's your whole back.
Whole back done. That's radials, that's lats, and that's
I find a
rhomboids,
lot
that's
of the
traps.
back workouts, it's like, I feel like, at least when I'm doing it, I work in the same muscles.
Bro, I love back workout, back training so much.
I think that's my favorite.
It's my
thing.
favorite by far.
Back and biceps. I think
I
that's
hate
like my-
biceps.
I love biceps. I love biceps.
Yeah, problem.
I love
Yeah,
biceps.
problem.
I like
Monty,
arm
Monty,
workouts.
yeah, problem too.
I like arm workouts.
I hate arms.
So bicep, tricep, shoulders, I love all.
Shoulders
all-
not arms.
Well, I mean, it's part of your arm. Your arm not connecting at your shoulder. So shoulders,
Shoulders is just bicep, bro.
it's just
Yeah.
no, that shoulder connects at the arm. I
Okay.
mean, I don't do arms. I don't do like an arms. day, but
I don't
you
like biceps. I don't like bicep training is boring to me.
know, well, nah, I like.
My
I like.
least-
I like the isolation of it all. I like isolating.
that.
So you actually did 9.
Yeah. If you want to make it, if you take all 10, if you take all the slots,
Yeah.
you would split up your back training into a pull down,
Uh-huh.
so like here
So
for
lats.
lats,
Yeah.
and then a row if your elbows split out. If your
That's
elbows
what,
split
what,
out,
what
that's
what do
traps, that's radials, that's
that?
rhomboids.
So that's more upper
upper
back.
back, yeah.
Okay.
And you get the radials in there too.
Okay.
Boom, done. Entire body training, 10 movements. Don't play with me. Don't play with me. If I had to make any changes, like if you were to give me, if there were things I would say we missed,
Mm-mm.
a leg curl would be good for more hamstring growth, and the adductor machine is good for more adductor growth, and a hip thrust is good for more glute growth.
Okay.
And you might want to throw in a squat there for your knees to not be pissed at you with leg extensions every
That's
time.
true.
Yeah.
In-
But if we had to do 10 lifts and we had only 10 lifts the rest of our life, I would do that
Okay.
personally.
In your experience, how fast can someone realistically grow? You know, every time we start
Yeah,
training, we want to gain 40 pounds in 6 months
that's impossible.
Okay.
But of muscle,
of muscle.
that go happen. That
yeah.
go happen to you.
So realistically, how fast can I look to
Give me a
grow?
number and I'll tell you if it's possible.
Okay, let's go back to the 150. So I'm 150.
All right.
I want to get to 160, 165. Let's use a flat number.
A year and a half.
I want to get to 160.
A year and a half.
A year and a half, 2
of-
years.
Of muscle growth. A year and a half. A year. Yeah.
Damn.
Because muscle growth starts out really fast. That's the thing. And you can gain 20 pounds of muscle if it depends on your genetic potential as well. But I would say for most people, you can actually grow if you do things right, or like pretty much on point, not 100% locked in, but like pretty much on point.
Mm-hmm.
For a year, 2 years, you can grow 20 pounds of muscle.
Nice. 20 pounds.
Maybe 15.
I mean, what I think a lot of
15,
people
maybe 20.
what
yeah.
I think a lot of people don't
But it
understand
slows down after that point.
is how much of a difference you look when you just probably 6 pounds more muscular.
Yeah, it makes a big difference.
It's a huge difference.
It's a-
I don't think people understand that. So people think I must be 200 pounds to look big.
Which is why I will not encourage dirty bulking.
Mm.
Because with dirty bulking, all you're looking at is the scale, the number on the scale.
Yeah.
Yes, the scale is a tool. That's what it simply is, a tool. So you shouldn't demonize it and you shouldn't exalt it.
Mm-hmm.
So if you're looking to lose weight, you need to use your scale because you're trying to lose weight. You need to see, okay, am I doing the things that I need to do to lose weight, and I'm actually losing weight? If you're not losing weight, you need to make some changes. So if you use your scale, if your goal is to get bigger, grow some muscle, the scale is not the only factor you should be looking at. Yeah,
Yeah.
it's pretty cool to say, yeah, boy, I want to gain like 20 pounds in this year. Cool, that's cool, yeah, fine. But if the 20 pounds, if half of it comes from fat, then
Yeah.
you know what I mean?
What's a I don't want to use the word unhealthy,
Mm.
but
Deep question, guys.
I don't use unhealthy because we're
Sinuses.
not even talking about being fat,
Right?
but
Don't be fat, guys.
honestly,
Don't be fat, guys.
but it's like what's an okay amount of fat to have
I
in
would
terms of like let's say
percentages.
without being fat, if you understand what I'm saying.
20% is fine.
20%.
From a purely a health perspective, not from an attractive perspective. Okay, I I'll make it a little harder actually, just because of what I know. I would say 15% body fat's pretty good. If you can see your abs, I would say that your insulin sensitivity, which is how quickly your body can actually absorb sugar in your blood system with the amount of insulin that's released, I would say that's a pretty good, in that range, your body is pretty much on point insulin sensitivity. So your risk for diabetes is much lower.
What about like going up in like to the 25s or 40?
It drops significantly and it becomes unhealthy at that point.
Mm.
You'll actually feel it.
Okay.
You begin to feel the physical. I guarantee you. Well, it's very hard to actually gauge, but let's say you're 25% body fat. If you get down to 15, you will feel like a whole new person.
I
promise
really
you
wonder
that.
how much body fat that I have right now.
I could estimate it, but it's
How
an
much you think?
estimate. Can you see your abs right now?
No.
Then that means you're over 18 for sure. I would
Meh.
guess.
I feel like a lot of my body
I'd
fat,
say you're probably
because
in the 20 range.
I don't look fat, but I feel like a lot of my body fat is like, hey.
But you see, the thing is, people hold fat differently though.
Yeah, that's why I'm saying like I hold fat.
Uh-huh.
I find in like my stomach, like my lower stomach, and like I have like love and
Like the more muscular you actually
but
hold
like
fat
you could
to
watch
yourself.
my arms and my
Uh.
arms look muscular. My shoulders look
Flex your
muscular.
tricep. Yeah, you can see that right
Yeah,
definition.
my upper body. So like I'll have a shirt on me and I will look built just because my upper body looks built.
Because you're broad.
But, yeah, exactly.
Because of
But
your bone structure.
But I know, like my stomach.
Yeah, you
I
probably
have stomach fat. I
you might
have
be something
back,
like
lower back
20,
fat.
maybe between 25 and 20.
I would say about 20. About 20.
In that range, probably
Yeah.
25. If you have love handles, for 25.
I gain fat, bro.
Yeah,
Gain fat.
you can lose that.
I know that's the thing, and I think I'm underestimating that because I know it's easy for me to lose.
You can
lose
do
fat.
it. Yeah.
So I think
That's
what's causing me to just
the starting is
not worry
daunting.
about it.
The starting is
That's
always
what's
daunting.
daunting.
It's always daunting.
That
The
is what's
starting because
daunting.
you have to build the habits, and then you don't want to start and stop, and because that makes you feel like you're worthless. and-
Exactly the
yeah.
discipline of
I
it
understand how it
all
feels,
and
man.
that.
I've been there.
Yeah. Okay, let's talk about recovery. Right?
Oh.
How important is recovery?
Very important. Recovery is when you actually
What
grow.
is recovery?
Recovery is simply the reversing of anything that would diminish your performance.
So how do I recover? Because people think of recovery and people just think of sleep, but is recovery just sleep?
Sleep is the biggest part of your recovery, I would say. But recovery more has to do with eating well, so you're getting enough protein and carbs and fats to regulate your body properly, and just resting, bro. Like you don't want to be in the gym. I would not recommend being in the gym 7 days a week. I would say at max 5. Personally, at max 5 a week. You need those rest days. Those rest days is when your body actually grows, right? Well, quote unquote. You grow when you're not lifting. When you're lifting, you're working and you kind of actually producing some damage. When you're not lifting, your body repairs that damage and then it grows more additional tissue. So recovery is important. The excess recovery stuff like the massage gun, massages, spas, all them chiropractor, that's not super necessary. If you like them and they help you get around maybe muscle pain, maybe joint pain here and there, then go ahead and do that. I mean, pain is always annoying, and if you can get around pain, that's great. But
I kind of like the pain.
you're a psychopath.
Just a little bit.
You're a psychopath. You're a little.
Just a little bit.
I can't even lie, me too, bro.
I kind of like the pain.
So cold just feel good.
Yes,
yeah.
Yeah,
my
bro,
cold, that's all right now. It's like
when I finish do like a squat or like a especially like for me the arms. When you see I do some arms like some biceps or triceps.
But I hate cramps.
Cramps are different.
I hate bicep
cramps.
cramps,
is not
bro.
pain. Cramps is like
You ever get an ab cramp?
No, I've never.
Don't wish for ab cramp.
I've probably gotten cramps everywhere else.
Ab cramps are
Legs,
the worst cramps.
Back. I've gotten a shoulder cramp.
You're gonna a bicep cramp?
Yes.
That your back,
my bicep, I was pushing my bicep too much and I cramped during the workout.
Yeah, that would never happen to me.
Yeah, like I just dropped the weight and like I couldn't.
If it's during the workout, then you probably will low.
Lactic
Electrolytes are probably low.
There's something in jiu-jitsu we call pohada, which is basically I think, don't quote me on that, but I think it's basically means kneading of dough. But basically what it is we train for the entire training session. Like we roll for the entire training session. So rolling is sparring. Normally for the training session, we'd probably do instructionals. So like they teaching us a technique and then we drill. And then for probably the last 15 minutes of training, we actually spar right through. But for that training session, for that particular training session, it's like punishment. So like we train for 2 hours, we roll for 2 hours straight.
Yeah, we're not being good people.
We spar for 2 hours straight.
What the
During Poada, your body loses so much
water,
hydration.
Yeah.
The floor is soaked.
Yeah.
Your gi is soaked.
Yeah.
No, for unless if it's no gi and you just have regular
Oh,
clothes,
you cook, bro.
you soak, bro. But the thing about it, because you're losing so much water, you
Cramps.
start to cramp.
Cramps.
You start, especially on a Sunday, if we do Poada during the week, it's like 2 hours long. Poada on a Sunday is like 4 hours long.
Hell
Sometimes 5 hours long.
Hell nah.
Yeah.
Don't invite me to come to no sparring on his Poada, and you know his Poada. I go walk out.
Yo, Poada.
I go walk out.
I would not punish you like that. But the thing about it is our coach so evil that you don't know.
Who coaching you
Yes,
again?
still. You don't know that today's Poada, but he has a specific soundtrack that he uses. That's psychological trauma.
So you hate it, like,
so we literally come to training, everybody dressed
then you hate
in,
it.
and then you just see you have like a big speaker thing. You just see you put on a speaker, nonchalant, go on YouTube, and the soundtrack start, everybody just watching each other like.
It's like
No, it's like a dubstep Japanese kind of mix, and everybody watching each other like, oh shit. Poada day.
Poada day. Everyone's cooked.
Yeah.
Everyone's cooked.
Everybody's cooked, yo. Yeah.
Deep fried. It's crazy.
But yeah, let's get back to recovery though. How do I know that I'm not recovering properly?
If you go back in the gym to do a lift and it's probably like it's a lot less than what you were previously doing the previous week. So like let's say typically you could do 225 on a barbell back squat for like 10 reps, right? If you come in the gym and you can only do 6, you're under recovered. Right.
Okay.
You're under recovered.
Wow. And is that painful or is it just like fatigue?
No, it's just fatigue. It's just your body hasn't healed from what you've done before.
And does that just mean I just need more recovery?
You just need more rest, or you probably did too much last time.
Okay. So
you
overtrained.
The session before, you probably just did too much. So now it's carrying the fatigue from that session into the next session.
Okay.
Yeah. Which is why it's not advisable to train the same muscle group within 48 hours of each other. So let's say I do biceps today, I'm not going to do biceps until at least, let's say today's first day, right? I'm not going to train biceps again at least until like Saturday.
What do you think about training the muscle group one time a week? So like you just doing a split where you train one like back, chest, legs.
It would work, but it's not efficient. The best use of your time is to train every muscle twice a week. 3 times if you really think it needs that much frequency, but half the time it's probably not a case of you need 3 times a week. So twice a week is very good.
Okay.
I train everything twice a week.
Okay.
Yeah.
And your split is so much easier for that to happen.
Upper, lower, upper, lower.
You literally just alternating every other day.
Upper, lower, upper, lower.
Yeah. That's a best split.
I've done full body times a week during prep. That was fun. I gotta lie, it's kind of fun, but it gets to a point where I come do everything. And you know when you walk in the gym, you're leaving there. You're leaving there for a while. Now, granted, I just stayed there for
like
3 hours
body,
anyway.
I like upper body.
I love upper body, man.
I do like upper body.
Yeah, lower
you
body?
know Alex Hormozy?
Yeah.
I think that man does upper body. I think that's what he does. Every day.
What me full body?
Yeah. Yep. Why? What am I saying, bro?
Full
Yeah.
body? Full body is good.
I mean,
it can
full
work.
body.
You just need to know how to program it. Because I think when you do full body with the amount of variables they have to consider, it's much harder to program it for somebody who's a beginner. Like if you don't know what you're doing.
But that man jacked.
He's big. Yeah.
Yeah.
But to me, he's on some performance stance. Don't quote me on that. That's why I read that somewhere.
I'm going to make a clip out of
there's
that.
no-
I'm going to tag him.
Oh, yeah. I'm sorry,
And you
bro.
said it already.
Bro,
No,
I'm
you can
sorry.
apologize all you want. I'm not going to include
no,
that.
put it down. Oh, Oh, I'm cooked, bro. My career's over. I'm gonna get sued. Yeah, but I read it somewhere. I don't know.
Okay.
I don't really care. He can do what he wants. I don't have anything against people who use gear.
Mhm.
I just personally think you should disclose it.
Okay.
And even if you don't disclose it, like who cares?
Yeah.
It's your body. Do what you want. Just don't kill yourself. Yeah.
But okay, so my last question now for you is
Type
this.
shit.
Let me think about how I'm going to ask that. What's if I want to work out consistently, I want to train, I want to
Alright.
look good,
Alright.
not necessarily bodybuilding, but you
Just
know, I
look
want to
sec-
look good.
Look sexy.
Yeah. I want to look sexy.
Get the
naked.
girl them to
Exactly.
what you like. Oh,
What is one
Oh.
principle? What's one principle I should never ignore when it comes to gymming?
technique.
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 Never compromise the technique.
Because technique will determine where the stimulus goes. If your technique is good for whatever lift you're trying to do, then you're going to get the maximum amount of stimulus from that lift, period. So if you never compromise on technique, if technique is always on point, then you're gonna grow the muscle you're training. If it's gonna grow maximally. If your technique is iffy, then there'll be a degree of stimulus degradation from that particular lift.
Okay.
But if you never compromise the technique, you will grow regardless. And if you understand technique, then technique also implies that effort is there, that you're getting close to failure. And yeah,
Okay. Okay.
technique.
I love that answer because I can agree to that.
Yeah, if your technique's on point, bro, you have nothing to worry about. Trust.
Alright. We have our game.
But yeah,
The game does not have a name, so
then the
don't ask
game
me
should
for
be
the name.
named. The game should be named. Comment the name for the game.
I think you should
Yeah.
comment the name
Yep.
for the game. So just listen, all right? And yeah, you could also try this on, somebody. Try this on a friend. So give me one hill that you're willing to die on?
Oh boy, yeah. We did it last
Hot
time.
take.
A hot take, like a real spicy one.
Yeah, man. Not no bullshit like you gave the last time.
I could be sexist. I could be a sexist.
Yeah, I think you should.
You think this bro's trying to get me cancelled, bro?
I think you should.
Um,
So that I can clip it.
I don't mind, to be honest. Women don't.
I'm so sorry.
You said
Because I am watching. Anyways, I'm imagining the comments.
dog. I can see the girls I talk to in the gym give me flames. Juanita go to bust my ass
Yeah,
if I say some shit,
I
bro.
think she should too. But say it.
Women by majority really don't train half as hard as they say they do.
Wow.
By like majority.
Really? So
I actually don't think that women who train hard would disagree with me.
okay, so just to be clear, I need you to say your hot take with your chest.
Okay. Oh yes, no. Women by and large do not train as hard as they say they do.
Okay, so right now, this is a game, by the way, Right now, I need you to enthusiastically defend
I can't.
the opposite. No, you need to. I need
man.
you to enthusiastically defend the opposite of this hot take
Defend
for
it, man.
40 seconds.
Like when you say defend, like
defend that
give
women
reasons
actually.
why it's not true.
Yeah, women actually.
I can give like excuses of why they do it.
No, bro.
Yeah,
well,
can.
I mean, yeah. If
Okay,
your
that's a defense. Yeah, let's go.
Okay, so actually, let's do 45 seconds.
Damn, bro, no, come
Yeah.
on, bro.
Since you added that part, I need to give you some more time.
God
Alright,
damn.
3, 2, 1, start.
Yeah, so basically, most people in the gym are beginners by and large, right? So if they're beginners, then they, by definition, will not know how to train properly, which includes training hard. So I can't really fault women for not being able to push themselves for real, because you're beginners, bro. You're novices, Even novice guys can't train hard. So it's like, I shouldn't even blame women, right? So I'm done. I can't.
No,
even more. I swear to God.
You have 15 seconds.
I have
Let's
nothing
go.
else.
I've stopped the timer. Let's go. Let's go.
Let me get my wits about me. Okay, let's go.
Yeah.
Yeah, so you have to give women time to actually learn the skill of training hard, actually learning to push their bodies, well in the gym, and actually learn good technique, and then eventually.
Okay, time
you'll-
up.
Okay, Paul. That was stressful. Now I'm going to get clipped and I'm going to get cooked in the comments. But let me say that
I love that one.
If any woman want to prove me wrong,
Yeah.
tag me in your Instagram post if you're
In the
listening.
lift, yeah.
Yeah. Prove me wrong. Now they have women I can say for sure a straight hat. All right. But
Juanita is one for sure.
Juanita
is a
Juanita is a
monster.
demon, bro. I swear, I'm training for one day. Like
I saw
for real.
Juanita do pull-ups. Juanita do more pull-ups than me.
That's pathetic.
That's
Do better. Do better.
Pathetic.
No, but every other girl, you have to give me proof. I can't big up you unless I can see, unless I do forget you, and then big up Joanna from Suffer. That girl is straight out too. Yeah.
Bro.
Yeah. I have to check myself. You just made me be sexist on YouTube.
Bro. Anyway,
Oh my God. I'm so patriarchal.
Bro, thank you so much for
The
being
women
here.
are going to cook me in the comments.
Thank you so much for being here.
I'm definitely.
It was a pleasure.
I'm definitely misogynist, bro. Come on, guys.
It was a pleasure.
Big up
It was a
yourself.
pleasure having you.
Yeah.
You know, always a pleasure having you. One of the OGs. You know,
OG
of the
misogynist.
show. Yeah. Yeah. So we wrap it up here.
Nurkeever made me be misogynistic on live.
I have nothing to do with your words. You're in control of your own brain
Damn,
and your
bro.
own actions.
Shit, that's true.
Okay.
So,
But yeah, guys.
Yo, keep that whole last thing.
Sherkym Daniel. Sherkym Daniel, eh?
Yeah, the goat.